Okay, we're talking about food. Have either of you heard, I was watching some YouTube the other night, and I had kind of heard this, but I just had forgotten about it. Have either of you heard about the MenuGate scandal?
MenuGate?
No.
MenuGate?
So, MenuGate, apparently there was this guy in America, and he was living in this apartment complex, and he left the house, and he noticed there was all the Chinese takeaway menus.
Yeah.
And they were all tucked into the doors.
Yeah.
As he left, every single apartment on his level, and he was third level. And he left, went to work, came back, and noticed they were all still in there. So he's just like, that's weird. And he left again the next day, and they were all still sitting there. And he's like, that's weird. Why is this is apparently a full complex of 800 residents, and not one takeaway menu has been taken out of the door in a day and a half. So he just kept an eye on it, and apparently after 3 days, those menus were still sitting there.
Okay.
So after that, he decided to go down onto his car park level, and it was probably 40 cars in the car park, but almost every single car that was in there had dust on them and cobwebs sitting on them.
Uh-huh.
So it was a week later, and these menus were still there. Pretty much, then, I think someone told him he should pull the fire alarm. So they pulled the fire alarm, and no one was exiting the building. It's supposed to be full at maximum level apartment complex. Standing at the front.
Where's this?
America. I think it was Arizona or Utah. I can't remember.
Okay.
And he's just standing at the front, and he's looking in, and there's literally nobody coming out, either level.
Mm.
Then he goes at night, and there's TVs on, there's lights on in each apartment. And this went on for essentially, I think, 2 weeks. Then slowly, a couple of them got taken out. There would be furniture placed in the hallway, but that furniture would be sitting there for 3-4 days. No one would ever come in, it was as if someone was moving in, but no one ever just kind of disappeared. But there was no noise coming from other rooms either.
Mm.
And then he would walk around the apartment complex and would have cafes and restaurants there, and every cafe had one single guy sitting on the table outside, having the exact same conversation, selling something on a mobile phone.
Mm.
And he would go from cafe to cafe, sit behind the guy, and he was this guy's having the same conversation as that guy, as if he's reading from a script. And it went on for a month. And that's it. Then eventually, I don't know. Some people reckon it was a front apartment, money laundering and stuff like that.
Mm.
But essentially, he might have been the only guy that lived in this entire apartment complex.
Hey, let me suss this out.
Yeah, very, very weird.
Horrified man finds out he's the only person living in his building after MenuGate.
Mm.
So a man has gone viral for never seeing anyone at the apartment complex. Millions of viewers have been drawn into a bizarre multi-part menu saga, which sees a horrified resident claiming to be the only tenant in an empty apartment complex. Atlanta, Georgia.
Okay. Oh, yeah, it was Atlanta. Yeah, that's right. Every level had cars except for the roof, and he goes, it's very weird because, car parks should always be full of cars, and yet these were never at full capacity of the car parks, and especially the roof was empty.
It says here, I live on the first floor, so the only people who are supposed to park here are the people who park on my floor, who live on my floor. There are more cars here than there are apartments. Some of these cars don't look like they've moved for a while. Shows us a dusty black car that doesn't look like it's been used in years.
I think he sees one person exiting the hallway, so he chases them down. And when he gets to the door, they've either gone up or down, and he's calling out to him, and no one's answering him.
Percentage leased and percentage occupied are two very different things.
Mm.
They're investor-owned units that are held but empty in order to artificially inflate demand and reduce supply.
Which is weird. You can watch the whole thing on YouTube, day by day, as he's watching, as he's updating, and the dude's just freaking out every day worse.
Did you actually know what ended up happening to it?
No, I have no idea.
Okay.
He just disappeared.
He just stopped reporting on it.
He became one of the apartments.
Well, dude, there's empty freaking cities in China. Have you seen them?
Mm.
Mega cities, dude. The size of Melbourne. Empty. How can there be that much money? Floating around doing nothing, and then you got homeless people everywhere. That makes no sense. I don't know. Actually, I've got a question. In South Melbourne, in South Melbourne, there's two commission buildings, apartments. They've been leveled in the last, just before I left, I think.
Okay.
They started leveling them out. What happens to the people that were living there?
They relocate them.
Is that up to them where they go?
No.
So it's just like, you're out, we're moving out.
Some of them get lucky and score an apartment on the beach.
One woman got a 3-bedroom home to herself in Bentley.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Single woman got a 3-bedroom home to herself in Bentley.
How?
She got relocated
How?
from her apartment. Well, that's just what happens. That's what they do. They just throw people in whatever.
But how can a single woman living alone get a 3-bedroom house in Bentley?
Because they have priority to relocate. Because they already have been assigned the property and they can't just take them back out and tell them go live on the streets for another year until we find you something. They find them the fastest thing. They just throw them in there. That's it. No questions asked.
I've got a family friend who they live in like a commission assigned house and they willingly don't make more money so they can stay in their house.
Yep.
Oh, go to South Melbourne, Brighton, Hampton. The commission houses you find there are all, and Paran, it's all Russians. I know heaps of Russians that have got relatives that live in them. Dude, earning good money, man. But on paper, they're earning nothing.
I got someone I know lived in growing up. They lived in a commission flat, like a big building, just full of shit, drug deals at the front and everything. But the parents ran and owned their own restaurant. Were making millions of dollars, like well off for years and years. Banked up a heap of money, sent the kids to private school. Years later, they eventually moved out and bought a place.
Yeah.
And how does that happen? How do you get away with that?
That's actually an interesting question. How do you actually get away with it? How can you launder that much money where it doesn't come up?
Yeah.
They're coming up after me for like less than 10 grand.
Yep.
So how does that work?
Because we are law-abiding citizens who fear going to jail and don't want to go to jail and all that shit. And literally they pick on the middle-income people. They don't go after lower because they don't have anything. They don't go after higher because they're too smart to get caught. So they pick on everyone in the middle. And that's just the reality of it.
The middle class is disappearing, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And can you see why?
So then you're just going to have the one or the other.
We get hammered.
So then what's the end game of that?
There is none. They're just banking on enough people being in the middle to sustain it.
Well, if you really want to go down that route,
I love how I've just spent 3 weeks in socialist countries.
well, essentially, yeah.
3 weeks in socialist countries to come into your rhetoric. All right, let's hear it.
Well, no. Essentially, we hinted at it a few years ago, but you're like, no, don't talk about it.
I said don't talk about it.
Andy said not to talk about it.
What was it?
So the WEF, the World Economic Forum.
Oh, right.
And it is going, they are doing it. It's just nobody talks about it.
Yeah.
Essentially, the World Economic Forum is influencing a lot of policies worldwide.
Yeah.
Meaning?
They're in a lot of government's ears, and they're coming up with this reset, essentially. That's what they want to do. They want an economic reset worldwide.
Meaning?
That essentially the whole world, in their words, is you will own nothing and you'll be happy.
But who will own anything?
Exactly. Nobody will own anything, and because you don't own anything, you won't have mortgages, you won't have debts, you'll be happy because of that. But everything will either be government issued or subscription based. I don't know.
Subscription based?
In a sense where like you pay for streaming, you pay monthly fees and all this stuff.
So you just pay rent. You'll never own your house or just pay rent.
Yeah.
Okay, look.
It's an investment. It's a long-term investment for them.
The way I see it, right? You have to pay for somewhere to live. That's
of course.
No. Like, as in, when I paid rent, right? When I've paid rent, people are like, how can you throw your money away on rent? Because I want to live somewhere.
Yeah, fair enough.
Like, that's it. That's the reason why.
Yeah.
And like WOGs especially, we were raised with the mentality of rent money's dead money. You buy your house
Cash
and you live in it, right? Yeah, because there it was like $20,000 cash. That's enough to buy a 4-bedroom house in
How
Bentley.
much is this car? 10,000. I'll give you 20,000 cash today.
What?
Double. What?
Yeah.
Okay.
How much is this car? 30,000. I give you 3 cash. Yeah.
It's like the golden ticket.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. The guy that's paying on card, no.
The guy that's going to pay 6,000% more. No, not going to happen. Cash is king. So yeah, we were raised to believe that you have to buy where you live, otherwise you're an idiot. And I used to say this. I remember saying it to my old man. I said it to my mum. I'd have these conversations. I'm like, yeah, but what if I don't want to live in fucking Officer, or you know what I mean, like out in Shit Creek?
If you want to, if you don't want to,
I don't.
then don't live
To
there.
afford.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But So you can only live where you could afford to buy. But what if I can't afford to buy where I want to live?
Then you rent.
But that's my point.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I rent.
But that's not an answer that they would accept.
But that's what I'm
of
saying.
course not.
So
Yeah.
I wanted to rent in Hyatt. I rented in South Bank, and that was the point because I wanted to live there. Why should I spend my twilight? Like, why should I spend the better part of my 30s living in fucking Traralgon because that's where I can afford to buy a 3-bedroom house?
Yeah.
I don't want to live out there, dude. I can't afford to buy in Clayton. Who's got 1.2 mil?
Yeah, I know. Well.
No, but you know what I mean. So it's like I can't afford to live in the suburb I grew up in, man, which isn't a luxurious suburb.
Yeah.
So it's like, well, sorry, man, you had 40K that you got a mortgage on in 84. I don't have that option now. Anyway, so my theory was always you got to pay for somewhere to live. Whether you choose to live somewhere you want to live or you choose to live somewhere where they tell you to live is entirely up to you, right? If someone said to me, you could have this apartment, mint, 99-year lease, right? To me, it means nothing. It's like, okay, I'll take the 99-year lease. Can I break it whenever I want? Sure. Does my landlord or whoever owns it get to break it whenever they want? No. It's yours for 99 years. Whatever you choose to do, in, out, it's your choice. It's no different. Dude, I'm not going to live to 99.
Yeah, but it's not about that. You're thinking of it from a single person's point of view.
But effectively, if that lease can get transferred to the next person,
it doesn't.
Who gives a shit?
It doesn't. Because Hong Kong has that.
Yeah,
They don't transfer it back to you. They transfer it back to the government. And it's ready for the next person.
That's true.
Majority, like 99% we'll say 90% or 95% of the world don't think the way you do.
No, I agree.
They would like to buy a property, not to say you haven't, but they would like to buy a house, raise a family in it, and, just somewhere that they...
Have something to pass on, too.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Everybody wants their castle, quotation.
Oh, yeah, their own...
Yeah.
Yeah, where someone can't come and take it away from
Exactly.
you. Yeah.
And I mean, renting is a necessity, but I mean, not being given the option of purchasing property. That's why all that stuff was happening in America. BlackRock was buying literally every house that was going up for sale.
The thing is...
And then renting them out.
You know what we're forgetting, though, is the earth is finite. There's finite properties to build.
Yeah. And people die every day as well.
Yeah, they do. But it all becomes accumulated at some point. But dude, lineages die out.
Yeah, of course they do.
Do you know what I mean? Like, families will eventually end somewhere
but
at some point.
People also use it as investment. Like, you might buy a property today and you might sell it in 2 years' time, make a profit. Rinse, repeat. People want the option to do that to make money. It's a way of making money.
Yeah.
It's not a one
Then you got
solution.
the boomers. You got the boomers that bought up all the decent property, like let's say Melbourne and Sydney. They're sitting on portfolios worth $10 million.
But same thing, they'll die out as well.
Yeah, but where do the properties go after they die out?
Probably to their kids.
To their kids, yeah.
Okay, but that's what I'm saying. It's still then it becomes old money. It becomes inherited.
Yeah, it's been around forever.
I know, but what about the people that didn't have inherited wealth like that?
It's like I said, that's always been the issue. There's always been the people that are angry at the people that have things.
I'm not angry at them.
No, I'm just saying in the sense, I've covered this in the past, like the people who are always embittered to the people who have the stuff.
Yeah.
Which is, you've seen that going on all throughout the 19th and 20th century. And we saw the outcome of that. But like I said, if the shoe was on their foot, they wouldn't give two craps about the people that are in their position currently.
Yeah, we're not actually arguing anything.
No.
It's just it's too many things to consider to be able to just give an overarching thing.
I think an organisation has no business to try and dictate global economy.
No, 100%.
Yeah, agreed.
As far as
and decide on what each individual has an entitlement to.
I think a global economy is a pretty optimistic and naive thing to sort of consider because you got different people all over the planet dealing in different situations, different economies, different microeconomies in every country as well.
Yeah.
You look at my cousins in Athens, I don't think any of them own a house. You know what I mean?
Not, yeah.
It's their parents or grandparents that like just left the building to someone.
Yeah.
And there's like 6 generations that have lived in the same building. My cousin, who's how old's my cousin? One of them is like 30, I think. 30, maybe 31, somewhere around there. He's a civil engineer. He's got like 2 masters or something, like a master's and a bachelor's or a double. Like, he's educated. Civil engineer, has a decent job. And I think I was in Vietnam, and I was talking to him, just like with FaceTiming. And I said something about the house or some shit. He's like, man, if I had your fucking lifestyle, I go, my lifestyle? Because, dude, he goes, I work my ass off. I'm working as a bartender right now just to get a bit of extra coin. I'm a civil engineer. A civil engineer working for a major construction company, and he's moonlighting as a bartender for extra cash. Mm-hmm. And he goes, and I can't even think about buying a house in Athens' shit economy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's microeconomies everywhere.
Of course.
You know, one thing I asked in Vietnam, they bury their dead, like, on their plots of land. There are cemeteries.
Where's this?
In Vietnam.
Oh, okay.
But they bury their relatives on their fucking land. So you'll be driving through housing, and there'll be freaking monuments, man.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why? It's like, well, because you can, first of all. Two, because they keep that reverence, like, within their grounds. And I asked the question, I said, okay, but what happens when the house gets sold? And you've got someone else's, you know? It's like, all right, well, take this house, for example. It was bought by the oldies that live on there, the parents. This house was bought by their son-in-law's family, right? For them. The one caveat on it, the one condition was, there was a thing in the back etched out for their plot, like for their family shit. So there's like a shrine.
You would kind of assume
ashes.
that each family would just,
You know what I mean?
be respectful of
That was the one thing.
Yeah.
I goes, yeah, but what happens if the kids, like, say the kids move to like a main city outside of this rural area? So what happens to land? Because that'll never happen. It'll never happen. This will always be in the family somewhere. And so that's not even an option for these people. Mm-hmm. It's like, okay, but we're thinking short term. Like, we ain't thinking, I mean, we're around for, 75 to 95 years tops. No one gives a shit past that generation.
Like 100.
105.
It won't be because of that. It's because you're excessive masturbating. Yeah. Let's be honest, man.
I've dodged cancer.
Call a spade a spade. I'll give you credit when credit's due. You dickhead. But yeah.
I'm feeling young.
Vibrant.
My back.
The reset is in. Yeah. But I thought that was really peculiar, but at the same time, this will be here. It's been here for 3 generations. It's going to be here for another 30 after that.
I saw the same thing in Fiji. There were like little cemeteries, little plots on the properties as well, but only like 4 gravestones per like kind of house.
Wouldn't that also just put people off buying it?
Not there.
Fiji, no. These are the villages. You just drive
but not
through
there.
it.
It's normalised, man.
Yeah.
But you're buying someone else's dead family.
But you wouldn't. Like, it's not going to happen.
No, that's what I mean. If it would be impossible regardless, wouldn't it?
Nah, because that part is still sometimes they go the extra mile and actually subdivide the actual property so that plot area is theirs.
Right.
But you never know. Like, it's always sketchy. Dude, I spoke to a mate of mine the other day. He lives in Cyprus, and I haven't spoken to him in years, and we had a coffee, and like, he's down here for his family's wedding or some shit, and he was showing me his house that he lives in Cyprus. I said, when did you build this? Because I was here in Melbourne visiting my family. While he was gone, because he was gone for months, some dude in the neighborhood built on the land next to his grandmother's house because he just assumed he wouldn't be back. What do you mean? Because I went back and there was a fucking, like a granny flat on my property. What'd you do? He goes, nothing. Found the guy that built it, threw like a sum of money at him, told him to get the fuck out. Literally.
Yeah, squatters' rights.
Yeah. He built a little granny flat on the guy's property because he just assumed he wouldn't be back. Dude, that's legit.
I mean, we have a law here as well. I think it's 17 years, though.
What's 17 years?
So if there's a plot of land or someone hasn't lived in something for 17 years, it's just been just
Abandoned,
empty.
yeah,
Abandoned, thank you. You can stay there, and if no one comes back after 17 years, it goes to you. You can officially make it yours.
So you know how they're building that massive factory just here on the corner of Huntingdale? Yeah. So you remember how that little house that never sold? When they
the Greeks.
Yeah. That house is like, it's all boarded up. I think they're finally getting rid of to do something with it now because it's always just been untouched. There's like, even though it was
that's
abandoned.
been untouched 10 years plus.
Yeah. But now, since this factory went up, they're doing stuff there.
Well, they're knocking it down.
I'm pretty sure they've acquired it and they're getting ready to do something with it, yeah. Probably just to get rid of it because it's an eyesore.
Well, it is an eyesore. It's been there literally shit. I mean, had we finished high school? Was it already empty?
I think so.
Possibly?
Yeah.
Actually, no, wait. When Bunnings went up,
Yeah.
it would have been empty when Bunnings went up.
Bunnings was there for a good 15 years, 10, 15
years. Yeah, so it's got to be over 15, 20 years.
Yeah.
Do you reckon they just acquired it?
I would think so. If no one's been living there.
I don't know. Look, based on what I
It's
just...
abandoned because it's all graffitied and like there's not windows are broken and everything.
What I was getting at before, like with the global... What'd you say? The World...
World Economic Forum.
Yeah.
WEF.
There's no point discussing a global economy because you've got countries in Southeast Asia that are running on microeconomies.
100%. But this is trying to influence especially Western economies. But they're the exact ones that are behind all the DEI stuff as well.
Which leads us into potentially the next conversation of, have you seen the list of things that have been approved by the new Mr. President Trump?
Yes. Some, not the full list. I thought we were going to talk about this, but okay.
Okay, so I will say, do you guys listen to that single solo podcast I did?
Yes.
Did you?
Oh, yeah.
He scrubbed like you wouldn't believe him. Scrubbed like
You didn't listen to shit. Shut up.
I loved every moment of it.
Fuck off.
About an hour and 20 minutes?
No.
It was
Can
like
you stop
40
talking
minutes,
shit?
25 minutes.
I swear to
Sorry,
God.
20 minutes. So
He's
not
explaining
now.
the name change.
I'm going to punch both of you fuckwits in the face because you're full of shit.
I listened to it.
The sex change. What's sex change?
Yes, that's what I was talking about, Andy.
He was doing a second-by-second review of one night with a ladyboy.
Oh, how he came about the finding out
realising,
about his sleep apnea.
that was the whole louse thing. I teed it up.
Yeah, okay. You did, yeah. I mean, the one person you saw, you had to experience it.
That's true.
Yeah.
Was it... You rate it, or...?
You rated it? Yeah.
You're both fucked. Listen.
It's an
I
experience.
listened to the one. I
I'm
did
not
listen
saying
to
it because I expected you to listen to it. I'm saying so I don't repeat myself.
No, but I did listen to it, but I have to admit I did forget.
Okay. What I said was...
I'm in the same boat as him.
I said this to you. I said it to both of you.
Yes.
After the fucking elections last year, I went cold turkey.
Yeah.
Algorithms clean.
Yeah, so is mine, surprisingly.
Mate, no Stephen Colbert, no fucking Seth Meyers, no Farron Cousins,
How refreshing is
no
it?
Young Turks, nothing.
Refreshing.
Nothing. When I mean nothing,
It's refreshing.
not YouTube on the PS4, not my phones, not my PC at the office, nothing.
This would be the moment you sing the Mentos song.
The Fresh Maker.
Fresh girls, fresh
Yeah, that's it. 100%. Shit started popping up again.
Oh, really?
Now, with the inauguration.
Yeah,
Purely because I've said the words inauguration too many times on the phone.
Why are you saying that?
Well, I said it to him.
Yeah.
We're talking about, Trump's inauguration. I've said it a few times that people have mentioned it to me, and I've said the same thing. I don't want to talk about it. I got nothing, no dog in the race. I'm done.
When did you have a dog in the race?
No, but just as a point of interest. Yeah. Anyway, my point is that I did see his stupid list of demands.
I saw some.
They're fucking so bunny-brained. It just got me angry. And I said, no, you've done well. You've culled it for like 2-3 months.
My sleep apnea.
Yeah. Dude, legit. I said, just cull it. Stop it. I've got other things I'm binging on now anyway, so it doesn't matter. But,
What are you binging on at the moment, Tim?
seriously?
Yes.
Lebanese bikies in Sydney.
I'm sorry I asked. Andy, what are you binging on right now?
Well, I picked up a copy of Space Marines 2 on sale finally.
Oh, nice. How are you finding it?
I haven't played it yet.
Okay.
I've been binging The Witcher 3.
Game.
Yeah.
Haven't you ever played it?
I didn't play the expansions.
Oh, okay.
So I've started fresh to give myself the refresher
Yep.
before the DEI one comes out.
Okay.
And they butchered Siri. I don't know. Like, I like the intro, the trailer to the 4 one, to the number 4.
Yeah, okay.
But I reckon they butchered it.
I think they just didn't need to make another one.
Yeah, true. That's true.
I don't know.
But also, like, Geralt's just too likable to not
Yeah.
make a game out of. And I know people are like, oh, but he retires at the end of it. Yeah, but Siri also dies at the end of 3 in one of the scenarios. So it's like...
So spoilers.
There's multiple endings.
no, fuck him. The game's like
10
9 years old.
8,
Yeah.
9, yeah, exactly.
Hey.
You want
I haven't
something?
played any of them
You
yet.
want something nice and refreshing to binge on?
Yeah.
Dynasty Warriors Origins.
Really?
I am absolutely loving it.
Wait, that just released, didn't it?
It just released like a week ago.
Is it the same classic Dynasty Warriors?
Hack and slash?
Yes, but it is ridiculous.
What do you
As
mean?
in...
It's an RPG now.
Does it have dragons in it?
No,
Oh, so what? It's like Assassins or something?
no. So basically,
I'm losing my mind.
No. All right, go.
so you start off as a nameless protagonist. Mm-hmm. Wake up with
great.
amnesia.
Is he voiceless as well?
Yes.
Is he deaf?
So we're ticking
could
all
be.
we're ticking all the notes. Okay.
Just because they want to do it so that you're experiencing it from like a third
you can create your own identity.
Yeah,
in your own
you're not
head.
really. There's a whole backstory behind your character.
So what they did was they burnt the series out by just doing the same thing over and over again, and eventually tampering with the product that much that it was no longer recognizable or appreciated by the original audience, and no new audience wanted it. So what they did was they fell back on ideas that have been done 1,000 fucking times and found some success with it.
Yes, but it has an it has an overwhelming review reaction. Like
Do you know
overwhelming.
what I just heard in his voice?
Yes.
I just got a new hat.
I
want it.
So in Dynasty Warriors, you always pick the character and you play through their story as that character.
Yeah.
In this one, you play as a kind of like a third party that is involved in every battle.
Yes, Cao Cao, Lubu, Wei Wei, Shen Shen,
so
and
you
Johnson.
are the
Gary Johnson.
character?
You are the character.
Right.
And you like befriend all the main heroes,
Right.
and then you take part in the Yellow Turban Rebellion, and then you take part in as just kind of like an outside. There's a whole story behind it, which I don't want to reveal because it's actually a very good game. And the combat is so much better now, and they've put like a dueling system in there as well. You've got like these battle arts, which are special abilities. It's not just there is the button mashing.
What are you playing it on, PC?
Yeah.
Okay. I've lost interest.
I mean, it's only on PS5, I think, and PC and the new Xbox, so I'm not going to get a whole PS5 just for that.
When did the PS5 come out? 5 years ago?
Yeah, like COVID.
So what, we're halfway through the lifespan of the PS5?
It flopped hard.
What do you mean?
Oh, there's no... People bought it, but if I go through my friends list on PlayStation, because it shows you which console they're using, a good 3/4 of them are still on PS4.
Yeah, because there's nothing innovative about PS5.
And there's nothing exclusive about the games either.
The only thing I like about PS5 is the load times are ridiculous.
Yeah.
I'll give it that.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, but it's not worth buying one just for that.
No, you
Like,
wouldn't
look,
do a $700
The games you get on
upgrade.
PS5, you can get on Xbox and on PlayStation.
How much
on
is
PC.
the PS5 right now?
700.
750, 700.
How much was it when it released?
You couldn't even get one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. These
Scalpers were selling them for like $1,500 to $2,000.
Okay, so $700. Halfway through the life expectancy, and it's still $700.
They've released a new version, which is even more expensive, isn't it?
Yeah, which was nothing.
Yeah.
The Pro.
Well,
Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, it's like the textures on the background graphics are better.
who gives a shit?
Yeah.
Okay, so when's the next console set to be released? Have they even announced one?
I don't know.
I don't think so.
They kind of said this generation was going to be the last of the consoles.
And then what?
Atari makes its comeback.
I know Sega was talking about making a comeback.
No, Atari actually was making a comeback.
Yeah.
No, okay, so hang on. When you say the last of the consoles, so what's Sony going to do? Chips. VR chips and
AR.
glasses.
I
all
think they
AR.
just doubled down on live service games. So
Yeah, and it's not going anywhere. Like
No.
service. But they have said like I think 11
yeah, like
of the
we've
next.
learned from our mistakes with Concord and others, and we're going to double down on those live service games. Actually, we're going to release one major one every year.
We heard you.
I think they said
We're
there's
just gonna
11
do
out of the next 15 exclusives are all live service. Yeah. Anyway, so Dynasty Origins.
Hang on. You went from Dynasty Origins, you went from Trump and his list of
Demands.
We were talking about what we're consuming, what we're like, what we're binging.
demands. The emperor has no clothes, man. Yeah, you're right. Sorry.
Okay. So, so you like befriend characters and you got to raise your like bond with them and then like they'll
Can
give
you
a
jam
build.
any?
No.
What?
But the story doesn't climax.
Well, usually if there's a relationship system, you can jam someone.
No, it's more so fun unlocking new abilities and new
Oh, right.
stuff. And so all of them are basically trying to, like, the way it's funny because on Reddit, like, everyone's saying, like, it sounds like they're all trying to jam you, like all the characters, male, female, everyone, because they're trying to actively recruit you to their faction.
Oh, so it's like enticing you to...
Yeah, and so you might have to make, I'm not at that point yet, but eventually you have to make a decision which faction you're going to go with. And It's
Right.
going to be one of the three. And whichever one you go with, you play their story, and then you're involved in their battles as an independent character.
What's the benefit of that
Well, you get to see the whole story,
on their faction?
their faction.
Yeah.
Apparently, you can change the fates of characters. So people that died, you can make them live, but apparently, like, a little boss will rock up, and there's like a time limit, and if you can beat that boss, then you change their fate, and it's like a hard fight.
Any rewards, though, different?
Will those characters stay alive? And then I think the kind of the stories. I don't know.
Like your character rewards. Do you get anything?
Possibly, I don't know. I'm not up to that point
Oh,
yet.
right.
Yeah. I'm still just now at the like
How many hours in?
20.
Okay.
Apparently, the whole campaign goes for about 50 hours
Oh, not bad.
for one faction.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so you're playing heaps of battles. And you got like so there's an overworld map. And you get to run around and ride a horse around. You can do little skirmishes for other factions. You build your own reputation. There's areas that are cut off during certain chapters. And by doing those little skirmishes, they can be anywhere from like a minute to 5 minute battles. But then the actual story battles that are in like the story, those ones can go anywhere from 10 to 35, 40 minutes.
Yeah.
So they're quite extensive. And I'm failing them on normal. Like, characters are dying really, it's actually really difficult in some situations.
So what, do you have to like grind before you hit that? Or?
No, I'm even leveled up. It's just certain characters that can't die in the battle will die. Just because even though we know it's a button masher, there's still stuff playing out during the
that you need
battle.
to prioritize.
Yeah, so you got to make sure this character lives, because the game is playing that battle out as if it did in the real story.
Right.
So it's on rails.
Yeah, but you can affect it in a sense by helping it along that rail, you know? Or just like it.
So it's on rails, but you control the accelerator, kind of.
Yeah.
Or the brake.
So if you choose not to go help Cow, he'll die.
Yeah.
And then that's the end of the battle, and you're going to restart it. But they did put in like a checkpoint system, so if he dies, you don't have to start the whole battle all over. You can pick certain points in the battle. They've done...
You're not selling Dim. I can see him.
Well, when we played...
Look, I love the Dynasty games, right? Because I played them at his house heaps. Even when I got my PS3, I bought Empires. Yeah, which was a cool game.
Yeah.
But then you see the reviews to the next ones after that, and it was more of the same shit.
Yeah.
This one here is... Look, it's a Dynasty game. It's a Warriors game. It's just what they are.
That's the formula.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't expect like brain science out of it. But I disagree with people when they say there's nothing there, because there's a story playing out in the battles. But if you're just running off and beating everything to death, you're not paying attention. Because all those battles are based on real world battles.
Yeah.
And so those characters are playing out. And at certain points, like, that character really did struggle to like defend himself, and someone went and saved him.
Yeah.
So that's when you come into it and you go and help him. And if you fail, he dies, and then either the battle ends, or then that's when it goes off rails, and then it's up to you to influence it.
Yeah, okay, so you're forced to play out the narrative as it was in history.
Yeah, there's a little bit of fiction to it as well, like certain characters, like the order that certain things happen, and certain characters, the way they're portrayed and stuff done. But then once you beat it, you start a new game plus.
You'll knee deep in this lore and history.
Yeah.
Someone like, say, casual like me, who does fuck
You'll love
all.
it. You'll love it.
That's what I'm saying. Like, yeah, okay, I get it.
Did you ever watch that trailer I sent you when they announced it?
I can't remember.
Like, it's crazy.
I think I did.
Like, pull it up. Like, they've done like this chart.
Yeah, I did.
So, like, there's the big story battles, there's parts where, like, you get to the fortress right at the end and the boss is there, and then it's like everyone's amassing there, and, like, they're waiting for you to get to this little designated spot, because then they all just charge. Like, it's a mass charge of, like, 1,000 against 1,000, and visually it's, like, unreal to look at. And you do that every battle.
Any FPS drops?
No. Maybe once or twice it's happened, but, like, you're smashing, like, sometimes in the story battles, you're smashing, like, 2,000, 3,000 people, and, like, your KOs and stuff like that.
I'm more curious as to you saying that they've run their course with consoles. So what the hell's next? No, what is the next step? That is actually a legitimate question.
It's not necessarily confirmed, but I remember when they were still in the PS4 days, as it was coming to an end, they were saying, well, the next one, which is the PS5, will probably be the last console.
Yeah, but then what?
I don't know.
A new console, a new brand?
Well, the tech is kind of peaked. Like, you can't get
but you say that
graphics.
every generation we think, the tech has peaked. We thought the tech peaked with the Nokia 6110 or whatever they were.
Yeah, but as far as graphics, like, you can't get more photorealistic.
That's what they said about WWF Attitude. There's always something that they're going to do. Are you serious?
I don't know. Look, they could completely
That's like
bring
saying cars peaked in the 70s because you had an accelerator and a brake.
Well, I mean, technically they have,
I
haven't
feel like
they?
they're running out of ideas for car designs now, though.
They are.
Everyone's copying everyone else, just like slightly tweaking it.
The engine...
Actually, have you seen the new Audis? They've taken a step back.
No.
Ugh. Nah.
Oh, how goes the car hunt?
Oh, you still looking for a car?
No, I gave up.
Okay.
I threw some money into investments instead.
He bought a rickshaw. He bought a rickshaw. His missus is just dragging him around the city. Hey everyone, we know you're completely displeased with this sham of a podcast, so take the opportunity to comment in our YouTube channel or on our social media posts. For every follow that we receive on Spotify, we get one step closer to buying non-powdered milk. And now, back to the episode.
Well, I was like, I can. Do you know why? I'll say, okay, this is a great discussion, right? I don't remember if we actually spoke about this part, but cars are so expensive.
Yeah.
Like, a Mazda 3, which is what I've got, which is, I can still score somewhere between 15 and 20 grand for mine in the low Ks it's got. And I looked at the new ones and they start at like 33, 34, 35.
That's base too.
And that's base. They start
What's a
at
base
that.
Tesla cost?
For the sedan,
Yeah.
I think those are around 40.
Dude, everyone's got them.
Yeah.
Every Uber that pulls up is a Tesla.
Yeah.
I'm serious.
They had a massive discount before Christmas, which is I was close to getting the SUV one, and then they released like the new models. So I'm guessing that's why.
Okay. And Trump's scaled them more back again, hasn't he? Didn't he drop some law about EV vehicles, some tariff or
I don't know.
I don't know. He wouldn't do anything to like
some subsidy?
Piss off Elon. So I assume it would be in favor of whatever Tesla is. Because that's the other thing too. The Chinese market is like insane now. The BYDs are like they're everywhere as well now.
They're quite ugly cars.
I know.
Anyway, so what about the car thing?
No, that's it. I didn't end up buying one.
Yeah.
No, you just said you were winding up to say something. Anyway,
I like to edge you.
Trump's thing. Have you seen the laws that he's trying to pass? All the crappy changes that
I
he's
saw
done?
the list of them. Yeah.
Yeah, what'd you think?
Some of them are okay.
Like what?
2 genders. Stop all the nonsense. I was fine with all that.
What nonsense? His brain is nonsense.
Yeah, but I mean that's nonsense.
Yeah, okay. But these... Okay.
What don't you like then? Let's talk about what you don't like.
Okay. Did you see what he said? Don't look at me like that, you prick.
I haven't seen him, so I'm genuinely
He's
listening.
just tilted his head at me like, let's see what he has to say.
I'm a curious dog.
He was... His whole pitch through his campaign was that he was going to sort out the Gaza in a minute. Now, do you know what he turned around? Then he turned around and said it'll take a few months. Now he's turning around saying it's not our problem.
Oh, I don't know.
No.
The only message I'm aware
your campaign-
is that the goal is to fix America. So, as someone who, if someone was saying that about Australia, I'd be like, yes, prioritize Australia. If what I would say is pull up the list and we can discuss the list of what he's spoken about, and then we can probably do it easier that way. Pull up the list. Let's have a discussion.
I mean, like this ceasefire now, there is a ceasefire going on, isn't there? In Gaza?
Yeah, but I think they were like saying it's shaky.
Of course, it's like, It wouldn't surprise me if they put
They
a
asked
bomb
for
in
like
the
a
hostages. It
list.
wouldn't surprise me if they put a bomb in the hostages.
No, well, they were saying like they wanted a list for of the hostages, and they weren't giving them a list or something. And now they're like, "Well, what's the point of the ceasefire if you're not going to comply with terms?" Yeah.
But regardless, whoever negotiated that, regardless if it was
it was
if it was Biden or Trump. Or
no, it was one of the other one of the neighboring countries.
Jordan? No. Egypt? No.
No.
Iran? No.
Jordan? Egypt? No. Amman?
Amman? Was it Amman?
Cyprus? No.
It was one of the neighboring countries. They mediated it.
Oh, whoever did it, it's good. Stop a bit of get a bit of quiet in the city for a weekend.
Yeah.
So
you got the list?
So build the wall. All right. So he started the biggest mass deportation thing. So we shut off like a government app that basically makes appointments for migrants to migrate legally. He shut that off.
Yeah.
So it's like, nah, no more migrants here. His own fucking golf courses are full of illegal immigrants working in the kitchens.
Yeah, but is it good or bad? I don't care about what he's doing. I'm saying good or bad.
It's ridiculous.
So it's bad.
Shutting off all legal migrancy.
Oh, legal?
Yes. He's just putting a line down saying no more migrant. Like anyone even attempting to migrate right now is back of the line.
So we wouldn't be able to migrate to America?
No. People that had appointments literally to migrate legally have been kicked out.
Yeah, that seems a bit pointless.
Well, they've been kicked out or they've just been put on hold for now?
There is no hold. It's like nah.
Well, I mean, if you look.
So then you become an illegal alien and that's it. You're out.
Okay, so if you're a legal alien, then you've got to leave.
Yes, but you weren't an illegal alien. You were literally getting ready to be processed.
Yeah, that's true.
He's a fucking moron.
I mean, if you're trying to sort out an immigration issue, why would you keep importing people in? Get rid of them all first and then start from scratch.
You provide a logic. I see both your angles.
Wait, say it again?
If you're trying to curb an immigration issue, you would stop all immigration, wouldn't you?
Okay, but this is the difference.
Yeah.
He has sensationalized everything that he can blow up to appeal to his
all politicians do that, yeah.
But sensationalized it to the point of extremes, where he's declared a national emergency with Canada as if they're a threat to the American economy.
Okay.
But now he's proposed buying Canada.
Yeah.
Yeah, unless he's buying it, not forcing his army into
No,
there.
but saying that if they don't sell,
Are you liking the fallout? What do you call it when something's like similar?
similar.
Simmer.
The similarities between Fallout, world law, and like current day, like
right.
Greenland,
Yeah, well, Greenland,
Alaska,
Greenland,
Canada.
Greenland. They said that they're going to buy Greenland, and there's no they'll be forced to sell.
Okay.
Denmark came out and said, "What are you fucking talking about? Greenland's got nothing to do with you." No, we'll be picking it up whether you like it or not. Literally, Trump's going to send the military in to take over Greenland by force.
Has he said that?
That's what he was implying.
I thought you said he was going to buy it.
No, he implied that if they don't sell, we'll have to just do something else about it.
I mean, on the surface, it does seem a little
Insane.
well, I wouldn't say insane. It's a bit aggressive. But
Aggressive?
there could be things going on that we're not aware of. That a lot of people aren't aware of.
Dude, this is what annoys me.
Okay, what's that?
Trump promised things for 6 years. 6 years. He promised things. He didn't deliver any of them.
Okay.
And that surprises you?
The only thing he delivered was the ban, the abortion rollback. Yeah, where they sent it back to the States. That's it. He did nothing else. He didn't build a wall. Mexico didn't pay for it. He didn't stop anything.
He did build a wall, didn't he?
No, he built like a kilometre of the wall.
No, I'm pretty sure there's a wall.
Yeah, and
I think they started a wall.
They started a wall. It got nowhere. He diverted funds as if it was a national emergency crisis at the border, which it wasn't.
But it is.
It's not.
But it is.
But it's not.
But it is.
I think we went through this. The stats showed it was. We did go through this. We pulled up the stats last time, I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
There's literally like what's the state that borders the Mexico?
Texas.
Was it a mayor or a governor or someone came out and said like a lot of these cartels are taking people hostage, their families hostage and sending them into America to do things. And they have to check in with them like every 2 weeks. And if they don't, it's the end of the family.
Yeah.
I'm very well acquainted with the immigration setup because, believe it or not, this is exactly what happened to Rome.
And there it is.
It did.
It only took, 2 hours. And we got to the first mention of Rome.
What's the next item on the list?
Their borders were constantly like.
So what happened to Rome?
Well, they had to conquer the neighbouring country.
We didn't want to, but you left us no choice.
So there's the saying is that Rome conquered their empire not out of like aggressiveness, like because
it was
they
in
wanted to.
defense.
It was in defense because you had all these tribes that were migrating across.
It's what Israel's doing. It's what Ukraine's doing.
Yeah,
it's in defense of.
So Trump's tax policies broadly tilt towards corporations and wealthier Americans. That's mostly due to his promise to extend his 2017 tax overhaul with notable changes that include lowering the corporate income tax rate to 15% from 21%. That also involves rolling back Democratic President Joe Biden's income tax increases on the wealthiest Americans, scrapping Inflation Reduction Act levies that finance energy measures intended to combat climate change. So he's basically making the rich richer and keeping poor people poor.
I thought it was because the rich don't pay taxes, and so lowering the taxes was meant to encourage them to pay taxes.
The rich pay
Wasn't it to bring them back
tax.
into the country to start
paying
manufacturing
taxes.
and bring them back into the country?
Because people moved out of the country,
Yeah, but he's putting tariffs on foreign goods, which tariffs aren't paid by the neighbor. Tariffs aren't paid by the countries manufacturing this shit. They're paid by consumers because the prices will just go up.
I think they should just take a page out of the book of the Argentinian president.
I love a guy to these far right.
Are you calling? He's not far right.
Who?
The Argentinian president.
Dude, they were harboring Nazis in World War II.
Talking about I'm talking about now.
Yes, their culture, man.
Oh, I don't know anything about their culture. I'm just saying their current president, who took over last year, has reduced their inflation from like 800% to zero.
How?
Because he reduced government.
What do you mean?
He got rid of government spending. He shut down in the areas. He got rid of a lot of government workers. He got essentially a lot of the inflation, apparently to them.
So he's
a lot of the money is coming from government workers.
He's culling the people in charge to a small select group, and he can.
Well, that's what they are doing already.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but a lot of the time they're fighting them on it because they want larger government, don't they?
Well,
more oversight.
A lot of useless people in government, for sure.
Oh, he wants to eliminate the Department of Education. That's what he wants to do.
But on what bounds?
Like literally remove the Department of Education. So there's no overarching Department of Education.
Is that because they're so terrible and they have a reading level of a third grade?
No,
he wants corruption.
He wants to.
I thought he said he was going to set up an academy instead.
He set up Trump University. He got sued.
No. I mean, instead of that, wasn't there more to it?
He calls for redirecting the confiscated endowment money into an online American academy, offering college credentials to all Americans without a tuition charge. So there'll be no wokeness or jihadism allowed.
That's good.
Do you seriously believe that?
What?
He literally had a university of his own and he ran into the ground. He got sued.
I don't know.
But that's what
It just sounds like he's got ideas, Dim, and at least he's got ideas.
The ideas.
They might not all be gold or winners, but there's
do you know what I'd
there.
like to see? I want to see someone deliver what they're saying and then talk about the goods and the bads.
But that's what I'm saying. Trump did it for 6 years. He didn't deliver anything.
Well,
he didn't deliver. And then he created a problem, then offered a solution.
Is America in a worse state today than it was 6 years ago?
Look at TikTok. Take TikTok, for example, right?
Yes. Okay.
When Trump was around, TikTok was bad. Yep. TikTok evil. TikTok has to leave. TikTok has to be banned. Fast forward to 2025. TikTok good. I will save TikTok. How does that make any sense?
Should a person who runs in politics, if they have a stance on one thing, are they expected to have that stance forever?
No, but when nothing changed with TikTok. The ownership was still the same. The model has not changed at all. But what he did was he created
I actually saw them when they asked him about that, and he said, he said in his words, he goes, if it works, if it's to the benefit of America, he'll keep it. If it's not, it goes. He goes, if there's money to be made there that we can funnel into the economy, we'll keep it.
Makes sense.
Faith Shields.
Does it not make sense?
No.
Well, you're a terrible businessman.
The way I see it,
I'm sorry, but that's a shit. That's a terrible business-minded attitude. If you can benefit your country and bring in money from other countries, that's a priority for you.
Yes, Trump has proven it for 6 years. He's not about Americans. He's about himself. He's about his stupid donor friends.
No one needs to be told
that. That's the end of it.
That's everyone.
Yes, but that's the end of it.
You think Tony Abbott was having a great time?
Tony Abbott was a fucking idiot.
Exactly. That's my point. They're all fucking idiots.
I think I saw him announce that he was going to remove the tax on tipping, yeah? Who said that first? Was it him or her?
Oh, I didn't know that.
Apparently in America, they got a tax on the tipping.
Yeah.
So he announced when he was running he was going to get rid of it.
Yeah.
Okay? And apparently a lot of the journalists came out and said the way they worded it was like Trump is going to cost the economy like $600 million per year in taxes that won't get put back into the government.
Oh, so they put a twist on it?
Yeah. Then Kamala, however you want to say it, announced the exact same thing. And then the way they worded it is like, well, she's announcing tax-free tipping that will go back into the workers' money.
Yeah.
So it's like they both announced the exact same things, but they're twisted. They're seen as different perspectives.
Yeah.
So the way you see something, I don't know, some people, regardless of whatever he does, whether it's good or bad,
it will be painted bad.
It will always be painted bad, and they can never see.
So you're saying he's being brainwashed?
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying.
Okay.
No, I'm just saying, in the sense where, regardless of whatever's the opinion in this room, whatever he does, he can never do right.
Yeah.
Because he's been painted that way.
He painted himself that way.
No, he didn't actually, because he literally went on The View when he was running the first time. And you got Whoopi Goldberg, you got all those walruses there. And they're all like, this is our best friend. He's such a fantastic man. He's the best person in the world. He's such a delight. Then when Hillary lost, it just got put on its foot. He's disgusting. He's a demon. He's a monster. This, and that. They're all in cahoots. Look at the freaking... What was it? Was it you that sent it? He literally sits down next to Biden and Obama, and they're fist bumping each other.
Oh, yeah.
What was that? Was that at a funeral? Jimmy Carter's funeral. They're all fist bumping each other. Like, seriously.
Okay. Things that he's done, things that he plans to do.
Yeah.
Affordable Healthcare Act. He's been talking about what's the word I'm looking for? Repealing Obamacare for like the last 8 years. Yeah? He didn't. He's already made laws now to make healthcare more expensive for Americans. He's already started rolling shit back. And he's put Bobby Kennedy Jr. in as the Minister of Health, whatever the hell it is. Yeah? What's the actual role? Health Secretary. Bobby Kennedy's a conspiracy theorist who's against vaccines and water health generally. So he's making healthcare more expensive, privatizing all the other shit. Climate...
Question.
Oh, God.
Have you seen a lot of the health ministers worldwide?
They're obese.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bobby Kennedy Jr.
No, I'm just about to make an observation.
Was it a dead deer or a moose from
he?
Central Park and put it in his fridge? He's a fucking lunatic. He's actually a lunatic. He's got brainworms.
Free meat.
But didn't they love him before he sided with Trump?
No. He's got fucking brainworms, man. Literally was on a podcast, was on Joe Rogan's podcast saying how he had brainworms.
He had or he has?
Well, that's in the air. He had them, definitely had them.
What the hell's brainworms?
Like fucking worms in his brain. I swear to God. It was the biggest thing ever. That was the fucking funniest part. All right. Climate and energy. So, claims falsely that Trump believes that climate change is a hoax. Blast Biden-era spending on cleaner energy designed to reduce US reliance on fossil fuels. He proposes an energy policy and transportation infrastructure spending anchored to fossil fuels, roads, bridges, combustion engine vehicles, drilling where he's not meant to drill. He says he doesn't oppose electric vehicles, but promises to end all Biden incentives to encourage EV market development. And he's also going to roll back fuel efficiency standards.
Look, with the electric cars, I think it's...
No, it's not just electric cars, it's everything.
No, I'm just saying with the electric cars, because we've talked a bit about them. Like, the benefit, I suppose, is there, because you don't have those gas fumes, petrol fumes and that. But then to charge them, you're using electricity.
Apparently the batteries are really bad too.
Yeah. And then you look, like, there's the amount, you just go online and you just see the amount of images of, like, these charging stations being fueled by diesel generators.
Oh, yeah.
Like, what are we doing then? Like, I don't know.
He also insists he can end the Russian-Ukrainian war without actually explaining how. And now he's saying that it's not his problem.
Oh, the Russian-Ukrainian war.
All of them, yeah. All the wars going on, he could end them all in a drop of a hat. Then he added a couple months to it. Then he said, yeah, well, it's not our fight. We're not getting involved. It's not our problem. Dude, there's so many more. It's just ridiculous. Taking back, renaming... Oh, they renamed that fucking mountain to McKinley or whatever. That president. There's some mountain, yeah, that they gave... It was named... They named it after a president, right? Yeah. I can't remember which... was it Hinckley? I can't remember which president it was. And the president had nothing to do with it. They just named it in his honor. And so they rolled back the name to its indigenous name. The same we did with Ayers Rock. It became Uluru. That was key, priority. That he gives it back some name that the colonialists gave it. And the what's it called? The Gulf of Mexico.
Oh, yeah, I heard about that.
Now it's the Gulf of America, according to him. Oh, and the canal. Is it the Panamanian Canal? They're going to take it back.
I mean, these are very easy... I guess very easy changes.
He's just selling hype.
Yeah, they're very easy changes
with no
to
actual
make.
substance, and that's my fucking point. He's never had substance. In 6 to 8 years, he's never shown anything of substance. He just keeps coming up with new grifting shit that
we've got another
appeals to the 1% of idiots.
You've got another 4 years of it.
I know, but that's why I switched off. And I'm so fucking happy I did. This is the one thing that's poked through.
Have you?
Yeah, because the inauguration was 2 days ago, and it poked through. You couldn't avoid it, right? But, dude, since when was the election? October?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 3 months. 3 months, clean. Dude, I watched Seth Meyers nearly every night. I watched Farron Cousins and Young Turks and all of them.
Big question, is Tim.
If you say something about sleep apnea, I'm going to punch you in the face.
Seriously, man. I think you're dealing too much. You sleeping too much sleep deprivation. Seriously,
you're stressed.
Yeah, okay.
The question is, do we think Elon's a Nazi or not?
Oh, man. Come on, man. That was ridiculous.
He threw his heart out.
No. Okay. If he was throwing his heart out, you know what you do when you throw your heart out? You put two hands on your heart.
Yes.
And you move your arms forward.
But he's
autistic. He leant into it.
Okay.
That was a full lean in and a straight extended arm. Are you kidding me? No one in the history of the universe has ever given their heart
Yes.
out to
Let's
someone.
go after the smartest man on the planet.
Smartest? Are you kidding?
Oh, I'm sorry. You're smarter than he is, are you?
100% I am.
Okay. How much is he worth again? Oh, he's worth everything.
I bought and sold him last year.
I'll be the first to admit it doesn't look good for him. But he's an autistic idiot.
Nah, come on, man.
Did you see him tweaking out throughout the whole thing?
Yeah. I reckon he was nervous as shit.
Oh, yeah. His autism would have been going through the
I made a meme about
roof.
it, man. There was a meme that went up. I shared it in the group. It's like your two guys at the, what's it called? Hang on, what's the actual meme? Wait a second. I sent it to you yesterday. Surely you saw it. You just ignored it, of course, like always.
Jeez, John.
Hang on. Oh, maybe I didn't send it to you. I think I might have just tagged you guys in it. Yeah, that's what I did. You didn't see it?
Which?
It was him and Baron.
Oh, yeah. At the ping pong show. Yeah.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
That was gold.
Look, I'll admit it doesn't look good for him, but I don't think he's like...
Oh, come on, man. The guy was South African, grew up in apartheid. You're telling me...
We literally have our WhatsApp group called Minecraft. Minecraft. We literally... Every day, we literally have the amount of, like, links to, like, outright racist crap. And
we've also discussed it pretty openly on the podcast.
Yeah, extremely homophobic stuff on there. And I wouldn't say homophobic, but extremely anti-everything. Like, nobody is safe in our thread. And I wouldn't consider any of us like that. I wouldn't consider any of us a Nazi.
That's when you and I are different.
Oh, okay. Well, Tim considers himself a Nazi. Okay.
Yeah, I consider
a collaborator. Okay.
Yeah, I'm what's his name? Donald O'Brien. I'm not O'Brien. Listen.
You know what he was doing? He's probably watching, like, Hitler's speeches, trying to ramp him, like, amp up in front of the crowd.
Elon's watching Hitler's speeches.
And then accidentally just sort of flipped
Dude,
out.
that gesture was too much, man.
Was it a flat hand or was it a hand out?
It was a flat hand.
His body wasn't straight up. His body was like almost like that.
It wasn't stiff. No,
he was like that when he did it.
Dude, his arm was flat, straight out forward with a palm facing down. You can't. Come on, man.
Oh, I'm saying it looks bad for him, but I don't think he's
when you offer your heart to someone and doing that Mi Corazon sign, you're literally putting two hands on your chest and you're going outwards, extended, arms up.
Do you have autism?
100%, some form of it.
So would you say, probably not extreme form of it though?
No.
But would you say that you could understand that someone with autism would make a mistake like that?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Do you have autism?
Oh, man.
Do you have autism?
No.
Would you say that someone with autism may think differently to you or make a mistake?
Get extremely hyped up in a crowd that normally they probably don't speak in front of like that large. When we see Elon Musk, he's usually one-on-one interviewers behind a computer.
That gesture.
Maybe in front of stakeholders, shareholders, not stakeholders, shareholders.
He could literally rape a dolphin in front of you and it'd be like, look, maybe he just got excited and he was trying to pet it and didn't know what he was doing.
Now, why do we excuse other retards but not him?
What other retards?
Well, we've got one here and another one.
I've never done a far right salute in front of a crowd.
I take offense to that. Stop it.
Well, I mean, we excuse a lot of stuff that autistic people do all the time, don't we?
What, racist tropes?
Even physical.
Not like that.
There's literally a kid in America right now that body slammed the crap out of his teacher because she confiscated his Switch in school, and she like broken bones and everything, beat the living crap out of her, and she's trying to sue him to take him to court because he has to, suffer the consequences. It's like, no, too bad. He's autistic.
Well, luckily they'll get rid of the Department of Education, and that teacher won't have a job.
Maybe.
Literally, it's not a joke. I don't know.
Do you think the Department of Education have done a good job in America?
No, they've just watered it down. Everything's just watered down.
Yeah.
They scaled down, whereas
I don't think getting rid of it. I think getting rid of the people running it.
He wants to get rid of it.
Get rid of it and replace it with something else,
saying
something new.
replacing it is the solution.
That's been Trump's battle cry for the entire time he even started running. Everything we have is shit. We're going to make it better.
Well, it is shit.
Okay, we're going to make it better. How are you going to do that? Oh, we're just going to make it better. How are you going to do that?
Yeah.
Never has an answer. Bluffs his way through 4 fucking years. Gets thrown out, then spends 4 years. I should never have been kicked out. This is all shit. Cool, Donald. That's great. 4 years later, it's all shit. I'm going to make it better. How are you going to make it better? The same way I was going to do it fucking 4 years ago.
Would you say...
And if it's not the same way because it's now invoked to do something else, I'll do that way instead.
Would you say he's an idiot or a genius?
I think he's got enough cronies behind him pulling whatever strings they need to pull in order to keep...
I think it's genius. Whether you love him or hate him, I think he's a genius for the way he's playing it. Like you said, exactly the way you said it, it's like Scam 101.
Oh, it is Scam 101. Yeah. He's the biggest grifter of all time.
But it's believable Scam 101.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. It doesn't say... Because the world's looking at it and saying, these people are fucking ridiculous. Americans are looking at it and they're either buying it or they're not buying it, right? No one on the outside is buying it.
Yeah.
To the majority, right?
Yeah.
Majority of the outside population is not buying it and saying, what the fuck are you people doing? The Americans are buying it. Cool. Let them burn.
But there's so much money in America that you just... Who cares?
No, but that's what I'm saying.
You buy into it.
That's why, and I go back again, that's why I did the cold turkey, because I don't want to hear about it anymore. Because it's depressing.
Unfortunately, I'm sure you're going to hear about plenty.
I know.
Being just back in the country.
It's just depressing, man. It's depressing seeing it and thinking, you people are fucking insane.
Would you admit if he's done a good job, say, in 6 months' time? Or would you be like,
100%. If something actually does happen to the benefit, fuck oath.
Yeah. I think that's the important part, is like, we're stuck with it for 4 years. Well, they're stuck with it for 4 years. It doesn't affect us. They're stuck with it for 4 years. If he does a good job, great. If he does a shit job, people should acknowledge that too.
But I don't think they will.
They never will. That's the problem. They never will.
It's a new word I discovered, being intellectually dishonest.
Oh.
Intellectually dishonest?
So you think you're smart, but you're not?
No, so in the sense where they will not admit... Idiot! They will not admit that either they've made the mistake or that, like if he has done well... Either side, if, your MAGA people turn around, he's bombed, nuked the country in 6 months to a year, and they're refusing to admit that he's stuffed up, he's done nothing.
But that's
being intellectually dishonest. But then in the same case, the people who, all the Democrats who are saying, he's Hitler 2.0, and he's turned around and turned the economy around and done all these things, and they say, no, he's still an idiot. Well, then either one, you're not admitting the truth.
Is it a coincidence that every outgoing Republican government has always left the country in a deficit? I'm telling you, every incumbent Democratic president has had to deal with deficits and fucking shit economies.
Okay.
Every time. That's not a coincidence, man. Every time you look back historically for the last 20, 30 years... Every time an incumbent Democratic government comes in, they've got to start building shit back up because the Republicans killed it. Literally. The only way he can boost economy...
As in the state governments or the country government?
The country.
Okay.
The only way Trump boosted anything was by cutting, killing, and blah, blah, blah. Where it was... It's hard to explain. It's all just smoke and mirrors. They're Band-Aids, they're bullshit. He's the king of spin, like you said. He's the biggest grifter. and does it well. I'll give him that.
Yeah.
He's a fucking charlatan, but he does it well. But it's like the snake oil salesman in America, yeah? That old caricature of the snake oil salesman. You believe it until he gets the fuck out of Dodge and disappears. Then you got all these angry dudes drinking snake oil that does nothing, yeah? Only problem is these fucking idiot Americans have allowed the snake oil salesman back into the town. Like, hey, I see all you people are sick. I got more of that.
Monorail.
Monorail. Not Haverbrook. Literally.
All I'm saying is just follow the dude from Argentina's example and I'll fix it.
Well, that's going to be a dictatorship.
It's not a dictatorship.
He's just shutting down sections of government.
And the people love it.
So there's like,
They've got money now. There's no inflation. There's zero inflation. Because he cut back on all this unnecessary spending.
No more paper clips.
So you're saying inflation was up here,
And it's gone up here. A little bit down here too sometimes.
and we're going down there.
I'm sorry, but that's fucking ridiculous.
I actually heard that they are cutting government departments here as well.
Quite generally. Actually, we've got the election. Don't we have an election coming up? When is it? I don't even know.
I got
Now with Mr. Albo.
oh, here we go.
What do you think? Do you think he'll stick around or do you think
No one likes him.
they don't?
He's an Italian. They don't like him. I personally haven't even been following anything he's done. I got no idea.
He hasn't done anything.
But that's...
He spent a whole bunch of money on a vote that went nowhere. Didn't get what he wanted.
That was under his watch, wasn't it?
Of course it was. It's the first thing he did. Instead of fixing, only now he's acknowledging that there's a living crisis, but only because everyone's calling for an election. Because he's the one who has to call for it, doesn't he?
Does he?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. And so it's like everyone's kicking up a fuss now, and he's like, oh, well, I've got to start making some noise so they like me again.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
But... Look, to be fair, Albo ran against Scott Morrison, who was fucking hopeless. No one liked Scott Morrison.
Even worse. We haven't had a good run for a while.
Dude, it's been a while.
Do you remember the leadership spills? Like, Gillard got booted out.
They had that whole, what was it? Like that whole backstabbing.
Yeah, the spills, the leadership spills.
Yeah.
It's like the Labor couldn't get it right. They changed hands 100 times. And then fucking Liberals did the same thing, calling for their own little elections. Before Albo, we hadn't actually elected our own Prime Minister in like a decade.
Yeah.
Some stupid number. Like, we've had like 7 elections in 10 years. None of them were picked by people. It was just like, yeah cool, man, whatever.
Glad I voted.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It makes no sense. I don't know. I don't understand why our economy is so fucking shit. Every day our dollar just keeps dropping. It's like, what are we doing?
Thank you, banks. Do you know, I did some maths the other day on that. On the interest rates.
I see with the abacus.
Holy shit. Is there you'd think it's a difference, right? At the top of your head, you'd be like, yeah, it's massive. You don't understand how massive the difference is between where the interest rates were and where they are now and how much more money the banks are making. Like, it is insane.
Do the maths. Go from 2 to 5%.
No, it's insane. Like, it's close to like 10x on profits.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. And that's a large number on a large number of mortgages and all that on loans.
Banks,
it's huge.
Supermarkets have made record profits for the last
look
decade.
at that whole Safeway thing last year.
Yeah, the strikers.
No, not even the strikers. I was talking about the Woolies and the Coles where the price gouging.
Oh yeah.
Nah, they're all fucked, man.
Yep. And we're all in the middle, just suffering. Going to work, pay your shit, have no voice, have no say. Get taxed out the arse.
It's almost
go buy stuff, get taxed out the arse. Go put petrol, get taxed out the arse.
Okay, then hang on a second. So you said before, everyone, the 99-year lease sort of thing, no one owning anything. How would that work as far as like property?
You would just rent it, I would assume.
You'd rent it from who? The government.
Yes.
Yeah.
But then, would it be world governments? What if you wanted to buy property overseas?
No.
How do you buy it? No one owns it. Government owns it. You can't buy it off the government.
So the government owns it?
Yeah. It's an investment for them, like a long-term investment.
Yeah, okay. So then effectively, every government is an organisation.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like every government is a...
It's another Buxton or Ray White. It privatised to a government, basically.
Okay. What about infrastructure? You're still paying tax?
Who?
Like on...
The government?
No.
No, you. Yeah.
But what about rates?
Well, you pay it in the rates.
So you're paying rates for property that you don't own yourself.
Correct. Because you're living there long term. It's retarded. Like, it's straight up retarded. It doesn't make any sense.
And then you get your conspiracy people. Like I'm just saying,
don't start with
no. I'm just saying straight up. This is what they're doing. You can't deny it. They've been shouting from rooftops since COVID, just before COVID.
There's one conspiracy theorist left on my friend's feed. One.
Okay.
Wait. So what's your point?
No, but then I'm saying that then you get the conspiracy people, like a lot of your righties. And they'll turn around and be like, well, then that'll be the start of a social credit system and all that crap.
Right.
Because then it's like, well, if you're not having to buy anything, then you don't really need money in the sense because you just go in and like, all right, I did my work this week.
Yeah, but you're still buying everything else.
To live, not...
Yeah, but what about cars?
To live off, not to live.
Yeah, but you need to buy cars. You need to buy...
Those aren't investments.
But they're saying like even like...
People do buy cars as investments.
No, but like you wouldn't buy a car.
People invest in gold.
You're talking about a 1% of specific models and years.
Okay, look, property is the biggest asset that you can buy. But people still invest in gold. People still invest in
for sure.
antiques. People still invest in antiques and art.
Yeah. But people need to go and work for the gold and mine it to be able to afford to buy a house. And, and that whole thing's going to break down pretty quick. Why would you go and mine gold? For what? To go and buy some noodles at the shop.
I'm assuming you wouldn't own a car. I'd assume you wouldn't own, I don't know.
Like you said, it's the biggest asset you own. Remove that from someone's life, and a lot of meaning goes out the window. What's the point now? Like, why? Why would I work? I can just get by on, stealing from someone a couple of days a week.
Who would you steal from, though?
Doesn't matter who. You just steal so you can eat. There's nothing else to buy. Well, I'm going to buy a car. That's going to depreciate for the most part. Well, I'm going to buy some food. Well, I can just get by on 2-minute noodles.
Yeah, but you can see how dude, go to Venezuela or go to Haiti or something where they are literally stealing to survive.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Remove the whole purpose of life, which is literally to have your castle. Yeah, remove that purpose, and it's like people will lose interest. Maybe not everyone, of course, but a large enough amount of people will lose interest to be like, well, all infrastructure will break down.
Okay.
But that's already kind of happening now anyway.
It is already happening. Social media has already started doing that alone. People just don't want to go to work. They want to make videos from home.
But that's like the one successful channel that you watch, let's just say. But that doesn't count for the thousands that have failed doing the same thing. Millions, yeah.